What up, Broncos? This is Mr. Easter here. Happy Black History Month. Thought I'd take the time to highlight some of my black heroes for you. So let's start. In 1968, John Carlos and Tommie Smith took part in the Olympics. Now, there was huge talks during this time amongst African American athletes on whether they should boycott the Olympics or not. See, at the time, of course, there was civil rights being fought for, many protests, and not to mention, Martin Luther King had just been assassinated. So a lot of people who had trained so hard for these events at the Olympics were torn on whether they should go or not. Ultimately, many athletes did, including Tommie Smith and John Carlos. And on one event, which was the 200-meter event, in which they came in first and third place, they stood on the podium and made a symbolic gesture that has stood the test of times. You see, when they got to the podium, not only did they stand without their shoes, they rose their fists in the air. Now, the fists were to represent power, and having their feet on the ground with no shoes and their pants legs rolled up was to represent the poverty. Unfortunately, after doing this, they would be not only sent home, but stripped of their medals. And not only that, when they got back home to San Jose, California, where they had been student athletes at San Jose State University, they couldn't even find a place to stay because people wouldn't rent to them. They couldn't find work for the same reasons. They had now been labeled as villains. In many ways, you can see similarities to Colin Kaepernick during these times, as he took a knee in the name of racial justice, but has been pushed out of the NFL. Now, over 50 years later, Tommie Smith and John Carlos are actually applauded by many for their brave acts and sacrifice during this time, as they bared it all in the name of justice and equality. Now, in 2005, my freshman year at San Jose State, I got to see the unveiling of statues of Tommie Smith and John Carlos. And it was such an amazing experience because they were also there and they spoke and reflected on their times. And thinking about it now, it reminds me that, people may not always embrace you in the moment. And that's okay. But if you are acting in love and in the name of humanity and you have your integrity in your heart, history will look fondly on you. So keep pushing, keep pressing on. Till next time, peace and much love to you.